Alright, we are live. Welcome everybody. This is Zenith Online Racing. I am Bega. This is round 16 of Tier 1. We are in Singapore tonight for the Singapore Grand Prix. Alongside me, once again, after a little bit of a vacation, it's Puff Digital. How are we doing tonight, sir?
Oh, doing fantastic. Great to be back. Love the track. Personally, one of my top favorite tracks to drive. Not always the best for racing, but should be very exciting qualifying.
Yeah, expecting a lot of action here today. Obviously, Tier 1's been very competitive this year. We've had pretty much every week has been a great race, and this is a very, very tough track for overtaking. So I'm expecting to see a lot of good battles tonight. Could see some weather as well. Singapore known for rain, so we might not get a dry session here. See what we got as we load in here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we had rain. Um, would spice things up. Quality looks dry for the moment.
Does look dry. It looks a little hazy, but it's hard to tell with the nighttime. So
hmm
no real indication yet. I'm assuming we'll get a weather update any moment from the guys. Usually they're pretty quick for that. Um, just gonna check. Sorry, that's the wrong menu. Just need to check the audio of the game real quick because I had it adjusted for solo commentary. But now that we're at a party again, I can kind of go back to the way we normally run it.
Way we was.
Yeah, actually just gonna bring that down just a touch. It's not gonna hurt one. Just let me know the audio's good, guys. Dry race. Uh, 10 minutes into quali. I think he's saying it might rain 10 minutes into quali. And then dry race. That's what JXW is saying in the chat.
All right, thank you, JX. Just for that, you've earned yourself an onboard lap.
There he goes. Perfect timing.
On the
Just
medium tire.
drives out of the pits, yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, if you get one good lap up now on the mediums and it starts raining, then you could be set.
Yeah.
Starting on the mediums for the race puts you in a really good spot. You have choice to either extend and go softs, or you can put the hards on early if there's a safety car. It's going to be track position is king here, as it usually is at most street circuits. This one definitely important to have good track position here. So it looks like it might be starting to rain already. I swear I've seen something on the screen there, but it is raining, I think. Yep, it's already raining.
I'm not on board.
GXW, yeah, it's raining. So
Unmistakably rain. We have Packer at the front on the medium tires here.
Packer
He's just going through the
always first out. Look how shiny the
Yeah.
tires are still, and he's almost about to start his hot lap. But yeah, that rain is coming quick here. Look at this. It is starting to collect on the lens. So the guys that are out right now on the dry tires are going to have a huge advantage here, especially Packer getting the first run in on the driest track possible.
Yeah,
very quick here as well. He cannot afford to invalidate this lap. We are on board with Packer. He's our championship leader right now.
And all the guys who are behind him, maybe rubbered in the track before him as he now goes out and pretty clean sector one there. Nice and early on the throttle from the exit. See how he does here. I can't imagine the track a little bit of a lockout, but yeah, I can't imagine the track's going to be too difficult as of yet, but
No, but I mean, you think about the length of this lap, he's way ahead of everyone else. So
yeah,
when it starts to become a problem, they're going to have much further to travel.
using a lot of curve here, very tricky portion of the track. Looks well in control, as he always does, honestly.
Yeah.
Very smooth. ERS, first time it's been in the game. It was actually added to the track last season, and they didn't add it in the game. So first time seeing that, maybe it'll help with a few overtakes. And lots of curb, right onto the throttle. Coming up to a bit of traffic, it seems, but should have enough time. Fourth gear, he takes that corner. I'm surprised, to be honest. And up to fourth, very close to the wall. And we'll see how well he throws it through. And he has a bit of a moment, and that's going to cost him quite a bit of time in the last corner.
looks like it has cost him quite a bit of time. Who is in the Mercedes there about to finish a lap? It's Durnia. Let's get on board with Durnia. See what he can put up on the board here. The rain is starting to pick up. The best of the track will be over. It's going to be a bit of a boring qualifying session once these laps are done. So this is pretty much it for pole right now.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone's going to improve here. Here comes GP Colin on an out lap. Who else do we have? T-Money has invalidated behind.
Got Doth just about to cross the line.
Goes Doth, blocks him. Blocks him, goes to fourth. I think we saw Camden here making his way through at the end of the track. Yeah, Adri just in front of Camden. Or Adri behind Camden.
Only sixth on the medium tire. So here we got yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. Probably just letting cars through.
Interesting though, Packard
pretty strong.
Packard did that lap on the mediums as well, so.
And is still in first. No one's been able to unseat him, even with that mistake at the end. So,
obviously a
very
good
lot of guys
time.
on the medium tires seem to have gone with the same idea. I can't imagine any of these guys coming out and improving. It's still not rating all that much, but
Ryan just starting a hot lap. I'm gonna stay on board with that.
I think he's got his battery turned down. Ryan does.
Okay. Oh, he did just put
We've
that
got
time up.
T-Money who just started the lap, validated. Maybe he's out lap? But yeah, he's on the medium tire. Had quite a bit of pace last season at Singapore. He was really quite quick here, so see what he's able to do. On the middle of the track for that first DRS straight. Bit of a lock-up. A bit tentative. And just missing apex slightly, but still carrying good speed and a lot of curve there. Can jostle the car quite a bit.
Starting to see the moisture just starting to gather on the track, it seems. And he's starting to slip a little bit.
Yeah, it seems he's really fighting the car here.
Yeah.
Still though, if he can hook up the third sector here, a lot of guys still don't even have time, so really solid third sector here. He can move himself up the order, and again on the medium tire. So
Yeah.
Packer is already retired from the session. Doesn't even want to give it another go.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Just
a point.
assumes that it's going to get a bit more wet.
It'd be interesting if it stopped raining and then dried up by the end. Which
Yeah.
it could. Very well could.
Oh, T-Money runs out wide and invalidates.
So unfortunate for T.
Rushing. Yeah.
Very unfortunate. California back in the pits. All the reserves can't qualify.
Yeah.
That's the rule. So we're on board with Bobby now, who's out on the softs. See if Bobby can get a lap on the board. Sooner the better, and he runs wide.
Setting the lap here.
Bobby runs out wide there and gets invalidated. Zamagos just on the escape road ahead there, you saw. Not sure what happened if Zeb missed the corner.
Out at the third there. It says he's got purple the second sector. I don't know if you believe that. It's a pretty common glitch. They're supposed to patch today. I doubt they fix that one.
The purple sectors, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably don't even know it's a problem.
And again, looks really tentative. I mean, not very quickly those final couple turns. And comes to the final turn, yeah, lifts.
Yeah, the times are just sliding.
Yep.
I guess just getting one on the board at this point is more important. The sooner the better, because there's a few guys that need to set time still.
Yeah, I mean, Beck, Zy, Mr. Joshua, Bobby, T-Money, all full-time drivers, all without a time.
Yeah.
We do have Mr. Joshua on the soft tire here.
So California should really retire from the session just to make sure that he gets seated properly, I guess. I guess all these guys need to just put a time on the board, though, really, to make sure they're ahead of the reserves. If they don't put a time up and the reserve starts in front of them, I guess it's kind of on them, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Not much you can do about stuff like that. Bobby. Is Bobby back out there yet? He's still in the pits. Maybe not going to bother at the time. Who knows? I mean, there's no point in not putting one up. Zyg's invalidated. Everybody seemed... These guys that haven't set a time yet seem to be struggling. Here comes Mr. Joshua. He's going to get one on the board here.
He's way off the pace.
Yeah, the pace isn't there, but at least he's got one on the board. Because the next times to go up aren't going to be any better.
Yeah.
We've got Zyg, or is it Doth coming around? It is Doth. He's starting a hot lap. Let's ride on board with Doth and see if he can do anything. I'm assuming at the end of the first sector he'll be down a second or two at least. This track is certainly not improving.
No.
Yeah, there's the snap.
You can see there, yeah, big snap. Wrestling the car. You just can't get on the throttle, and you see he's trying to push through it, but conditions like these, you can only go so fast, and like you said, already a second.
He's running wide now.
Yeah, oh, and there goes the wheel.
Yeah.
So, valiant effort. I mean, you got nothing to lose. You got 8 minutes to kill.
Another stricken Ferrari in Singapore. A familiar sight in the rain, especially.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there he is, just stuck.
Alright, is that Bobby now? I guess it is Bobby on an outlap there, coming by Doth, or where Doth crashed. You see the skid marks there. Debris cleanup very quick. Efficient marshals here in Singapore.
Yeah, very, very quick. Good on them.
There's Beck with a spin in the final sector, and he's round. That is a very bad place, a traumatic place for myself. I've come across a sideways car here once before, a long time ago.
And the wing is just flying on his car, still hanging on there.
So it's treacherous out here for these guys on the outlaps right now.
And he's bumped the wall as well. Yeah, I mean...
You just got to get a time on the board.
Takes a little shortcut there to get back into the pits. Yeah, and I mean, Bobby too, sliding all over the place.
Looks like Dernia's out. He's gonna go for it. Maybe another victim.
Front row right now.
Yeah, that's a good qualifying. I mean, he really got the time on the board as soon as possible.
Yeah,
and
it's
like, Packer on them.
Now.
Yeah, Packer on those mediums though, first place. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine he's going to lose this thing from there unless there's a crash, but...
Huge advantage. I do expect, I mean, even in a dry race, I expect a safety car or two. It's...
Yeah.
There's nowhere for cars to go. A lot of walls, and... Yeah, you see a lot of guys now retiring. No point. I mean, it's... If you can get under a 140 in these type of conditions, I'd be very, very impressed.
Just really struggling here for grip. You see Zyg sliding all over the place, so he's locking up constantly. He can't get on the throttle. And this is an outlap. He's not even pushing. He's going to get one on the board here, though, to give himself a little bit better of a starting position. At this point, it's just about getting across the line with a clean lap.
He's going to get ahead of 3 drivers if he does this, so...
Yep. He doesn't even need a good time, really. He's not going to get one if he goes into the wall. Look, it's a skating rink out there. He slides off the road. No traction. Hydroplanes into the barrier. And this lap is invalidated once again. So, he's, you know, honestly, at this point, I say slap the inters on there and get out there and just get a time on the board. It doesn't have to be competitive. It needs to... Yeah, there you go. It's disabled now. It's inter time. Just put the inters on, get a time on the board. It doesn't have to be fast. You just need to get ahead of these guys that didn't set a time.
Yeah, every position counts, especially at a track like this where overtaking is extremely difficult. I mean,
Bobby putting in a very, very tentative lap here. Look how slow he's going. He's a minute 30 into the lap, and he's not even done Sector 2. But as I was saying, you just need a time at this point. The thing is, Bobby's lap is going to be so slow that he might actually need to put the inters on.
And he gets invalidated on the worst, the cheesiest corner to get
He should just go in and put the inters on, because it's getting dangerous now. He's not going to have enough
time at this point.
No, he will. No, I mean, don't, like, what's the point of crossing the line right now, though? His lap doesn't count.
That's true.
He can just go in the pits. He's got plenty of time for that. Zyg out there still as well, who's invalidated. He needs to go in and get inters on and just get a lap.
All eyes are on these two right now. I mean, they're the only ones who haven't retired so far. So
they really both need a time on the board. So this is a
this is
survival
the qualifying
drive.
duel. Yeah, right here, right now. Who can get 14th place on the grid?
Yeah.
I mean, is Zy gonna have enough time to switch tires and get back?
Yeah, he's good. He's not finishing his lap either because it's invalidated. So you only need about 2 minutes to get around. I feel with the inters.
He stayed out.
Why would he do that?
Just set another lap.
I disagree with that decision.
Well, he's just trying to get a time on the board, though, right? Like,
well, Bobby's is probably going to beat him if he puts inters on.
Oh, that'll be some drama for the end of qualifying.
Oh, there we go. At least we got something to look forward to.
The Mogless has come out on the intermediate tires.
Yeah.
He's already got a time on the board, so just get an extra run in here.
Thanks for the update, Arrow. Not my job anymore, though. Have to get Puff on that later.
I don't have the.
It's the description. The description in the YouTube. Oh, Fuzz can do it then.
What? You're logged in. Just change it.
The description? No, I guess I could, right? Yeah. Well, no, I'm not logged in on my phone though. I only have it on the system for the stream, so yeah, we'll have to get Fuzz. We'll change that, of course. But Zamogla's gone out on the inters. Bobby going out on the inters, obviously, good call there. Zyg, we're on board with him.
Wrestling the car.
Yeah, you see the water pooling now, and he's basically just sliding around. I can see this corner just not. Yeah, the car is.
Drops it down into first.
Looks like the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix here.
Hopefully we get a race filled with that as much drama.
Yeah, it was a great race.
And as clean, you know, no safety cars in that race.
Yeah.
ESC, so
just some spins.
We've got yellow flag. Is this just Zyg's going that slow? Waving yellows?
Perhaps.
I kid.
This guy's really lifting in the corners. Watch out.
He's just got a few more corners to get through.
He's almost there.
He's almost there.
He's grip. He's understeering even without throttle. Oh my!
It's crazy.
It is really.
One
it's
more
really
corner,
bad. The inters are going to smoke this time, though.
Don't go out wide.
There it is. He got one.
14th place. Let's see what Bobby's up to. On and out.
Way more grip. It's actually hitting the throttle. Oh yeah, way more grip. Bobby surely is going to get Zyg here. He just has to get a clean lap down.
206. We'll see.
Nah, there's no way the inters are over a 2-minute tire.
Zyg is. It's fun round.
I figured he probably didn't have the fuel to get back anyway, really.
He's already got the time on the board.
Yeah. Bad news for Beck, though, in T-Money. Looks like they're going to be starting behind California.
And Bobby here, if he can get the lap in. Yeah. All right, Bobby, all eyes are on you.
Nearly invalidated it before he started
Snap. Let's see what he can do here on the intermediate tire. No DRS.
Doesn't even really need to push.
Clean through turn 1. Well, he's got to beat 2 minutes.
Well, he'll beat 2:06 if he just gets around driving a Formula 1 car at a leisurely pace, I feel, but we'll see. I mean, you can't dawdle.
Pretty good. Oh, he can't spin.
No. It's barreling down the street. No DRS anymore, obviously, with the wet conditions.
Yeah, you can see the spray actually kicking off the tires and stuff too now, so he's hitting the apexes though, and nice job taking some exit curb and walk up there, but
see these lights around the edge of the circuit. I mean, we obviously it's a little bit of a slow session for us. I've been paying attention more of the scenery today than normal. There's like little lights around the circuit, different colors, look like lollipops kind of. You see them there in the background. Couple lime lollipops.
Oh, he hit the wall.
It doesn't matter. He just needs to finish the lap. Luckily, they don't disqualify you in this mode for hitting the wall. He's at 113. I think at this point,
he's
Zyg
well ahead of the time.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he'll get ahead of Zyg.
No, he's Did he
Nope.
invalidate there? No.
No, he's good.
That's the corner they got him at last time. Spinning past those white lines.
Yeah.
Nice and gentle. There's Zyg. He's taking his time.
I think you think he pulled over for Bobby, but he's probably just actually stuck. He probably can't get the wheels to do anything. They're just spinning in the water.
Alright, here he comes. Just a couple more corners, Bobby.
Oh, and he's got the time beat. He can lift and coast. He doesn't even need to force it here. He's got it.
And there he
155 for
goes.
Bobby.
This is what the people came to see.
Bobby outqualifies Zyg. Obviously,
On the
circumstances.
inters.
Yeah, on the inters. Zyg sliding around in what probably felt like ice skates around the Singapore circuit here. Really struggling for grip there, but decided to stay out and just get another lap on the board. I guess it's one place. It's not really. He could have crashed and not even got a time up at that point, though, right? The inters were a safer tire. I don't know why he didn't come in, but
I don't know. Well, if he makes his way to the podium, we can ask him in the heat brief.
So Bobby making his way back around. That is it for the qualifying session in Singapore. That was a rather dull one because the rain came about 3 minutes in and basically made the rest of the session pointless.
Yeah, the order was set
it wasn't
quick,
exhilarating, but that's
good
Packer.
fun from Zyg and Bobby though, putting on a show at the end there. So thanks for that, guys.
Yeah, Packer's on pole on the mediums, and then we got Durnia, Doth, Bloxham, Camden behind on the soft tires. Then we got medium runners again. JXW 6th, Aero 7th, Adri's 8th, Samoglis is 9th, Ryan is 10th, GP Colin is 11th, Fuzz is 12th, Mr. Joshua is 13th, Bobby is 14th, Zyg is 15th, and then California T-Money Beck, and then I think it's Jinnit and Miami down the back end as the reserves. So, because the times were set in qualifying, the best times set were on dry tires. They will have to start on those tires. Anybody in the top 10 will start on the tire they qualified on. So, we're going to see some pretty interesting strategies here. We got one medium runner at the front, and then we got a bunch of soft runners, and then a bunch of medium runners again. So, it's going to be interesting to see if those medium runners get held up by the soft runners at some point. Do any of them pit early? Do we get a safety car? Might aid some of these guys with their strategy a bit if there's an early safety car, especially the guys on the soft tires. Again, we don't know what the weather is. We know it's supposed to be a dry race, but is it clear? Is it cloudy? Like, anything can happen with dynamic weather. So a track known for wet conditions. I've noticed when it rains in qualifying, sometimes it ends up raining in the race as well, even if it's not forecast. So we could see some rain before the end. But at this point, we're tapped for a dry session here for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's Tier 1. It's Zenith Online Racing. Thank you for being here. We got a lot of people tuned in tonight, so nice to see that number up nice and high. Lots of people here for the action. We're racing under the lights here in Singapore, and we're hoping for some good action on track tonight. We've got 17 full-time drivers in. We got 3 reserves, so we got a full grid for you. 20 cars out there racing tonight. We got Jinnit, California, Miami as your reserve drivers. 3 very quick drivers from a couple of our other tiers here in Zenith Online Racing. Jinnit races Thursdays and Sundays, and then Miami, California are both EU Sunday drivers. A couple of the quicker guys in that league as well, so we should see them carting their way through the field at some point, providing some good racing action for us. Hopefully they can keep it clean, not disrupt the full-time drivers too much, but it's nice to have extra cars out there, fill up the grid, and give us a little more action.
For sure. And we do have a lot of people tuned in tonight, which is great.
Yeah.
Anyone's got any fun predictions, obviously leave them in the chat. We'll read them live on air. We'll make you a star.
Yeah.
Like Crofty reads his tweets live.
Yeah. Especially the ones where they're bashing him. If anyone's got anything negative to say about me, you can say it tonight. I'm in a good mood, so I don't think it'll bring me down too much. 16 people tuned in, though. That's one of the highest numbers we've had all year, I think.
Yeah, I think we were at 18 or 19 during quality there.
We were at 18 there. And that was,
show.
The frustrating part for me is that I've been broadcasting every damn race this season. That's the highest number I've seen yet. And it was the most boring qualifying session we've done all season. Um, it was probably most of the drivers tuning in just to kind of see what was going on while they were waiting for the session to end.
Yeah,
But
I mean a lot of downtime in that one.
yeah, of course. So
Someone has started it. Looks like it was Fuzz. So
yep.
no penalties to be handed out. We can
And we're
probably get
back
five,
up
ten
to 18.
seconds.
We're back up to. Can we hit 20 tonight? I think we can hit 20 for
Can
the
we
stream.
hit
Once we
20?
start racing, we might pull in some. We might pull in some random viewers
Some
from the.
stragglers, yeah.
Yeah, we could just pull in some random fans of racing here tonight with those numbers, and maybe we can
Share
hit
with your
20.
friends and family.
Yeah, anybody like if they
Have
like
them cheer
racing.
you
We
on.
do have really great racing here. Honestly, it's not just not self promotion. I genuinely enjoy broadcasting these races every week. They've been fantastic all season. We've got some really, really talented drivers here. Everybody gets along so well. We rarely have any issues outside of the on track stuff. So, really
Yeah,
great
no, it's
group of
been
guys.
great fun, and I mean we've had a number of very unpredictable races. It really has been the best kind of drama, not in a negative sense, but very exhilarating type of drama on track.
Yeah.
A lot. Just unpredictability in general. So I agree with what you're saying.
Just want to point out tonight, this is Bloxham's official first race in the Racing Point. He's outqualified his teammate Camden here, so the Racing Point team suddenly looking strong again with two drivers, fourth and fifth here. Camden usually around fifth place in qualifying, and Bloxham slotted right in there in that group. So we've got another driver here in the mix to fight at the front of the field, which I was predicting last week that he would slot into that area, and it looks like he is a really good fit here for Tier 1, so kind of just found us at the right time, and I wish him the best of luck tonight. Hopefully he gets a good result. We'll keep an eye on him and see how his race pans out over the next half hour or so.
Yeah,
it's about 45 minutes we're expecting this race to be. Some safety cars could be a bit longer. This is one of the longest races of the season, if I recall. I think it's around 50 minutes.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the longest on the calendar in real life. I know they always come close to that 2-hour allotment, I believe they have.
Yeah.
Before they have to shut the race down for city bylaws and whatnot. But
yeah.
No, Bloxham too seemed pretty discouraged with his own pace at this track, so I'm sure for him he's happy with fourth. I know he's really looking forward to Russia next week, so
yeah,
here and build that momentum.
Interesting, very interesting conditions we had as well. So we're not really sure like who has the real pace here in the dry. With the changing conditions, like some people might have got caught out that they didn't even know it was going to rain and were sitting for 2 minutes getting a drink and came back to see it was raining. So anything really could happen here today. We can see some really good battles through the field, though. Hopefully Packer doesn't just run away with this, but I'm expecting him to, based on my previous knowledge.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is definitely going to be safety cars, how you navigate, changing circumstances, how that affects your strategy. Again, I'll say it again, it's very, very difficult to overtake on this track, so right tire at the right time, you can maybe find yourself up near the front of the grid just because of a few safety cars. So,
all right, we have the grid reforming, the last few drivers slotting in now. You see Ginnet, Miami pulling into their grid slots. Packer is on pole position for round 16 of Tier 1. It's the Singapore Grand Prix. This is Zenith Online Racing. I am Art Biga. With me tonight, Puff Digital. We're ready for some racing here. Let's get those lights fired up and let's get things rolling here. We have 3 lights on. We have all 5 lights on. And we're racing here at Singapore. Packer looks like he got a really good start there. Looks like Matthew Dernier also gets a good start.
Yeah, and he
big contact.
Camden, I believe.
Doth up into second, but there was contact there.
Blocks him, it seems. Already picks up a 5-second penalty. Tagged.
Yeah,
Dernier
he ran into the
turn 1.
He ran into the back of Dernier, sent him off. Those cold tires, just no braking grip for Bloxham there, and he's picked up a penalty already, as you can see. The new penalty marker on the update we just got today, so now drivers will be shown with penalties in the spectator menu, so it'll make things a little easier for us trying to call the race, see how things are shaping out. Packer already has a 2.5-second lead on in the first sector. or second sector of the first lap. Yeah, Doff up in his second. That's a great start from him.
JX up in the third. I mean, he's on the medium tire. Adri up in the fourth. Another, or a great start rather for him. Also on the medium tire. So I mean, a few guys. Mr. Joshua up 5 places. Beck has gained 8 places here, and we're not even in the third sector yet. So
okay, so
stuff from him.
Yeah, the penalties is a separate menu, so I can go in there and check that later on, and it'll just be displayed in the grid, just like you're seeing position change or tires right now. Penalties we can show you a little bit later on, and then we have that indicator that there is a penalty as well that I guess is permanent. Will sit there no matter what detail we're looking at on the menu. So a nice little feature Codemasters has added in. They've apparently fixed some safety car issues that have been plaguing this game for years. Let's see if we end up with one tonight. Let's see if it actually works. I really like to see this game smooth out some of those problems. I really say those are my biggest complaints and really my only complaints with this game. So hopefully they got it right this time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the actual on-track racing is the best fun I do have.
Yeah,
As a watcher is great fun. It's just those game-breaking issues that, you know, can leave you discouraged. The timing has all jumped around. It is still not.
It also said DRS is enabled, which can't be right.
No,
they said that they fixed this lap
2.
counter problem, and it's clearly not fixed because it's lap 2. So great job. They've apparently fixed a problem that they didn't even fix. So
yeah,
see.
Yeah. So we've got Fuzz in the pit, Durnia leaving the pits, Boxing also leaving the pits. Those 2 drivers are unfortunately first off. We'll definitely be looking for a safety car, I mentioned, but out front Packer is really just checking in quite already. If the timing screen can be trusted, 3 seconds ahead. Doff is already pulled 2 seconds on JX. So.
I was going to say, this works out really nicely for Doff because he's on the soft tires and now he's found himself some clear air. He can just go out there and enjoy a nice little leisurely drive around Singapore and maybe earn himself a second place tonight because he's sitting in a really, really good spot right now. And any of the guys that would normally compete for second or third are well off right now.
Yeah. We've got Camden, who is really pressuring Adri and Arrow right behind him. So
yeah,
those 2 are second and third in the championship. We'll be looking to move through the field, but
and Camden's been pressuring Whoa, Arrow way off the road, and he's into the wall here. Something must have gone wrong, or no, it was a glitch, I guess. Because Arrow's right. Yeah, I was thinking that's very uncharacteristic.
That was odd. Yeah, I saw
him go into the wall. It seems, but obviously he's fine. So some sort of disconnection or desync issue there. We saw. I was gonna say Arrow Strike never makes mistakes like that. Can't believe that, but
I mean, a few of these drivers really do. Not like not something like that.
I was wondering if someone spiked my wine for a moment there. It was seeing things out here in Singapore. T-Money and Zog side by side. T-Money gets the place. And here comes Beck as well. Oh, and Bobby into the back of Zog. Makes contact, so Bobby now has damaged his wing. Zog still trying to fight. He's on that curbing, and he's lost out to Beck as well. Now under threat from Miami as well. So Zog's lost about 3 places here in 1 sector. That's very bad news for Zog. Cannot afford to be sliding down the grid behind these reserve drivers so early in the Grand Prix. Let's get the tire information back up. Zog also on mediums as well, so does not want to be losing ground.
A lot of guys outside of the top 10 actually started running medium tire.
Yeah. I think medium to soft is probably doable, to be honest, but especially if you reverse it, I think you can do medium to soft, but it's going to be
tough. I mean, that would require at least, I think, 20 laps on medium tire.
So let's get back to the front here. We got Camden and Arrow still closing on Adri, so we should be getting DRS now.
Yep.
I'm going to get some DRS and see if some of these guys can start making moves with that DRS. Camden and Arrow start pressuring Adri.
All over the road there. On the pit street.
Since he's a lap down now as well, so.
Arrow. We also have Mr. Joshua hunting down Zamoglis with Ryan right behind him as well. We'll see if maybe he can get a good run here. He is really closing on Zamoglis. We'll see if he chooses. He chooses the inside, side by side, so tight, even down the straight there. And yeah, he does clear him. So good progress from Mr. Joshua. Zimaglis, this is his first race running without the racing line, so pretty clean so far out of the walls, but obviously suspect
Doth has picked up a penalty here.
Yeah, he had one earlier for corner cutting.
So now Zimaglis kind of coming back at Joshua here as well.
Yeah, we've got Camden who looks like he made a mistake. He's lost DRS ahead, and Arrow. Oh, and Arrow spins and hits the wall. He's lost his end plate. That's
legitimate this time, right?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, Mr. Joshua sends it down the inside.
Yeah, I think this is for real. This is the real arrow strike, not phantom arrow.
Side.
Joshua's through.
Yeah, very nice move. Very confident to get that done.
Oh, here comes Zem on arrow. Yeah. Oof, I was thinking that's not a good place for this. Would have regretted that quickly. Arrow's probably going to have to pit for the hards, I feel now.
Yeah, at this point, I mean...
Go get some clear air and try and make up some ground. Yeah, he's heading in, so...
He's into the pits. So, unfortunate for second-place man here in the championship.
Yeah, he really needed to be up there pressuring Packer, or at least Camden.
And Camden's also in the pits. Just changing tires, so only 4 laps into the race, he's also serving a penalty.
Got some action going on back here, it seems. We got a few cars pretty close together. That's Zeig, Beck, Miami just behind still. They're trying to get by T-Money here. And T-Money not far off of Ryan, who's making a move on Zem, but has to back out of that. Does not get it done. He's all over Zimaglis here, though. He could have another crack at him before the end of this lap.
Yeah,
see those cars behind bunching up as well.
9.5 seconds in.
Doth has a penalty too, so it's even worse.
Doth's tires are definitely going to start falling off, and the softs are not very stable on this track.
So Ryan now trying to keep on Zimaglis here. He's trying to clear him. But T-Money now closing back into that DRS
bit of a lockup
range.
from Zem. That's not enough to let Ryan take a shot here.
If T-Money can hang into that DRS range, he's going to bring Beck, Zog, and Miami into play as well. That's going to be bad news for Zimaglis.
JX now seems to be coming back at Doth a little bit. He's got that buffer on Adri too, so settling in for JX on the medium tire. Oh, we've got a flag here. Something appears to be off.
Looks like Bobby maybe at the back.
Yeah, and it is Bobby here.
The Williams car looked like.
Just reversing down the road. Cannot get it turned. There you go.
So the penalties piling up early here in Singapore, as you can see with the new graphic. We have 6 penalties on the screen already. We're all lapped, so we're getting a penalty a lap here in this group.
And Ryan has cleared Zimaglis.
Ryan goes through. Zimaglis can't really do much there with that DRS.
Yeah, the best overtaking spot early on here.
Yeah.
Bobby picks up a penalty.
The front straight's a little too short for me personally, and it's a high-speed exit as well.
It's a high,
so you don't really get that.
Corner, I mean, really only dropped down to 4th on that one. Difficult to squeeze through. And yeah, Ryan now just maybe eyes up ahead, seeing if he can kind of take some time out of Mr. Joshua here, who is touching Adri actually, and JX, really taking time out of Doth now. So I assume Doth's tires are just kind of at the end of their life. We'll see what lap he fits on.
JX quite vocal about his dislike for this race prior to the Grand Prix here tonight. Running in third right now. Yeah, he's running in third right now with a nice little cushion around him, and he's sitting in a good spot for a podium here on that medium tire. So JX through. Doth must have had a moment and Doth into the pits, so that explains why. He was just losing time hand over fist there. JX said he closes in. T-Money now trying to get by Zimaglis. He's got that DRS. It'll help him close for the next overtaking opportunity, which is a much better one. See if T-Money can find a way through. See the 3 cars behind. Beck, Zeig, and Miami still scrapping as well. Miami on those hard tires just not quite got them fired up enough to make any moves yet, and he's stuck in a little bit of a DRS train here. Here comes T-Money on Zmagos with that DRS, but not close enough this time around. He's not even going to be able to take a look at this one. Behind, none of the other drivers close enough either, so be another lap around in this little group before we see any major shakeups.
Yeah.
We're looking through the rest of the field. There's some gaps forming, so this is our best battle on the track right now.
Or trains.
Zem actually closing up on Ryan again, it seems. Maybe Ryan's made a mistake there, or his tires are falling off, or something.
Doth now comes out way down at 14th, so good news for him, obviously. He does have clear air, so...
And he got ahead of Camden by a substantial margin.
Yeah, so... really just gotta...
Nice camera angle there. You see the cars going right over top the camera, over that curbing. One of the best camera shots I've seen in this game yet.
Alright, and here we go again. These first few corners are crucial to getting a move done. T-Money really needs to set himself up here to...
Yeah, he needs a really good exit through here. It looks like behind someone's gone off. It looks like Beck.
Yeah, it looks like Zyg.
Or, well, yeah, maybe Zyg and Beck. It looked like Beck was off the road there, but he somehow has come through and passed Zyg there. So maybe they ran into each other down the straight.
We do have T-Money now. He is going to take a peek. He does... he doesn't send it. Looked like he was pretty close alongside.
That was
his
closest.
Oh, Zyg is spun. Half spin. He keeps it out of the wall. That is allowed.
Oh, there's Miami right into the back of Zyg there. He may have picked up some wing damage there.
Chinit's gone through as well, so unraveling a big hit for Zyg.
The softs, well, I guess it's not even the softs. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
I thought it was the softs letting him down, but the softs obviously didn't last very long. Doth on about 5-6 laps into this race, really struggling for pace, and just decided to call it and pit.
Yeah. No, don't blame him. We have another car off. I believe it's Bobby again, unfortunately, but pointed the right way. And
Bobby looks like he's about to get lapped by Packer as well, which is astounding in lap 9.
Yeah, Packer is just...
He's almost got a pit stop in hand already over second place.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane.
The only thing slowing him down here tonight is a safety car, I feel. But kudos to him. I mean, he practices and he does put in the work, so...
Yep. He did say this is one of the best stretches of his season. We've seen utter dominance last week and tonight so far. So most of the season, Packer was within reach for some drivers. So hopefully we'll get back to that over the next few races.
For sure.
He always seems to have the pace to win it, no matter even if there's a mistake or anything. So T-Money taking a peek again, but just not quite got the confidence to just send it down the inside there. So he's still stuck behind Zem.
Adri right up behind JX and Mr. Joshua. Only half a second behind Adri right now, so I mean, this is classic Mr. Joshua. Letting the race come to him. I mean,
yep.
Nothing noteworthy in qualifying.
Also, Zmagos has closed back in on Ryan, so now we're all fighting for 5th place here, not 6th, because Ryan is within reach for all these drivers now as well.
Yeah, and that group ahead, 2nd through 4th, does seem to have pace over.
Packer picks up a penalty here.
Yeah, he's going to need about 10 more of those to really come into threat.
Yeah. Sadly. He's well out front, so we're racing for 2nd here today. Because Packer, unless he has some sort of abysmal error, has pretty much got this thing in the bag already. Well, safety car could eliminate that gap, and then, he makes a mistake, all of a sudden he's stuck behind somebody, you never know.
Yeah, and this is as close as Adri has been now. See how he handles the first few turns, and yeah, if he can really get a good exit, he might have a shot. And Mr. Joshua just looking very, very confident in mean,
Yeah, he's all over Adri here. He could take a
yeah,
crack at
so
Adri
much
even.
pressure. Um, Adri is getting close. He's pulled out of the slipstream to maybe take a look, but yeah, not quite there. And yeah, great battle between these three, honestly.
Yep, T-Money has made the
Yes.
move. Down the inside, he gets it done. Big lock up there, but sends it and gets the place. Great move from T-Money there. We stuck with that battle for so long, and then we didn't even see the
We missed
overtake
the
happen.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're watching a battle for second place right now, so it's hard to justify leaving that. It's a very good battle, as you mentioned. These three very close together here. It seems like something's going to happen here a lot quicker than it did back there with T-Money and Zem. These
Yeah.
guys came up to JXW quite quickly, and they're hounding him.
You can just see, I mean, Adri seems to really have a lot more confidence under braking so much later than JX, but so often it's just about corner exit. There's really a few corners where you just got to get the exit right, and you can defend through this portion of the track. Just follow the line. There's no one getting by you. So, you know, if JX keeps it cool and doesn't stress himself out, I mean, there's corners that you just got to get right, and you're fine.
Yeah. Behind as well, Zem under pressure now from Beck quite heavily. He's still hanging on to T-Money though. So that battle is not done yet. This is our best chance at an overtake. Here comes Beck, taking a look, but no, he's not close enough. Let's get back to the battle for second. It's Adri and Joshua. Joshua looks like he got a really good exit there. He's very close
and it looks
to
like
Adri.
Zem's gone off.
Here comes Adri, though.
Contact.
Adri on GX, he's thinking about it. He's so close. He nearly he
it's
thought about
so
it twice
tough.
there. You saw him take a second peek, and it's still backed out of it. Joshua really.
It's a tricky one though, because if you send it that late, I mean,
yeah,
the driver in front might have no idea. Yeah, you've come in, so. But yeah, Zimoglis, not sure what happened to him. He is down at 14th.
He's lost it again. It looks like
missing his wing. So, yeah, bad to worse here for Zimoglis, unfortunately, and has the entire lap to go before he can put on a new wing. So, another driver who will be looking for safety, for sure.
Camden's made a mistake, I think, as well. Has he? Looks like he's losing places as well. There must be something crazy going on here with these three. Because Camden and Fuzz swap places with Zem there. Camden taking a peek at Fuzz, but no, not close enough. Get back to the scrap we've been following at the front here. Mr. Joshua still pressuring Adri. Adri losing a little bit of ground on JXW now. Arrow and
we do
Zem.
have T-Money is up to Ryan, so Ryan enjoyed that brief period of... Oh, and Ryan's pit. Maybe wind damage? I don't know, but T-Money now gets by with the RS. And Adri, oh, so close again.
This is as close as he's been. If he's gonna send it, now's the time.
Get on the throttle, yeah, and
he looks good.
Pretty solid. Mr. Joshua, nowhere near him. So yeah, this is gonna be his best chance. JX moves to the inside, does not choose to defend, or sorry, the outside.
Oh, he's run wide too.
Yeah, I mean, probably wanted to leave room. Knew Adri had him, and yeah, ran a bit wide there, but great persistence from Adri, and I mean...
Here comes Mr. Joshua now.
Up near the front since joining T1 full time, and it seems we've got an incident between Ryan and Arrow Strike?
Yeah, they've both slid, it looks like.
Not quite sure what happened. It looked like there was the Renault and the Red Bull both stopped on track, so I don't know what had happened, but Arrow
maybe coming out of the pits they made contact because Ryan
great
had
end
pit.
plate again. Just disastrous for Arrow. Unfortunately, and Packard has gone into the pits on lap 11. He does, in fact, already have a pit stop in hand.
Yeah, this is...
I believe.
sad almost for Sporting,
I don't
but...
know how... but Adri, not quite able to pull away from JX yet. We'll see if all these guys start to go into the pits. Mr. Joshua should pit now, I would assume, but no, he has stayed out. Thought maybe try an undercut. I guess you don't know where you're going to come back out.
There's Packer.
T-Money has pit. Never mind. So T-Money's gone into the pits. Hacker comes out in the lead.
Yeah, that's insane. He's still 3 seconds up on them, too. GP Colin takes a place here.
And
So
Mr.
T-Money...
Joshua, a little bit of a wobble on the exit. I mean, JX is going to have DRS as well, so probably not getting the move done, but just holds position. He's got to hope. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to lose touch with Adju. He's kind of got to hope Adju can...
Comes T-Money and Fuzz. They're very close on the exits here. T-Money and Camden as well. He slots in just behind Camden. Get back to Joshua, who's all over the back of JXW here.
Well, that's actually pretty huge for Camden. Be out ahead of T-Money.
Yeah.
T-Money was leading that pack with Beck as well, so I mean, that puts Camden essentially net 5, right?
Yeah. He's looking like a good points finish for Camden if he can maintain that pace and not lose too much ground, so...
Yeah, you gotta wonder where these guys are gonna come out. I mean...
Yeah, somebody can try an undercut, but if you get stuck behind someone, it's not much of an undercut, is it?
Yeah, and especially with a lot of these reserves on hard tires, like, I mean, I bet Mr. Joshua probably comes out ahead of Fuzz, but behind California, right?
Right.
Got a yellow flag, it looks like Bobby's off again.
Oh, there goes JX into the pits. He's off his tires now.
has gone into the pits, so...
Joshua stayed out.
Yeah, we'll have to see where he comes out. Back 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunate. And they've double stacked at AlphaTauri. Oh no. See how well the team can handle it. They weren't quite ready. That's
it's painfully slow.
Yeah.
Painfully slow. And the weird part is JX had left the pit box. They're changing his wing as well, so it was pretty much Beck had to come in, I think. But,
yeah, that makes sense.
Could we get a potential safety car here? I think we've got another driver out in Sector 1. What's it yellow flag for? I'm not sure what's going on here.
I think it's because Bobby's retired.
Okay, in the pits,
in the pit lane.
Yep.
And JX comes out in 6th ahead of California. That is putting him on. Yeah, that's what I...
Net second here, I think.
Yeah, he had that, that nice little gap, that clear air to himself, and yeah, just really worked to put in the times. And Mr. Joshua has already caught back up into the rest range from Adrian. He's just waiting to be unleashed here. I assume both these guys are going to hit the next lap or something. Unless they get bold and try the medium to soft strat. But you would have to extend this for quite some time still.
We got Zyg looking to make a move here on GP Colin.
Adri into the pits. Mr. Joshua stays out, maybe hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, if Mr. Joshua got a safety car here, he'd be laughing.
See where Adri comes out. We've got JX now. Just coming around the final corner. I think Adri should have him very easily. Is Adri or JX right coming down the pit straight where it's going to be close. You can see him on the left there.
Very close. This is
JX comes into
tight.
turn 1 and does get the... Oh, and he's lost the car a bit. Can he hang in? He does, and he does keep the... Or he gets the position with the undercut. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Mr. Joshua now seriously looking to come out behind California and possibly also Fuzz, T-Money. A lot of these guys, so it's got to be this lap. I mean, unless he thinks in clear air he can pull Lewis Hamilton.
Here comes Fuzz making a move. He's past California there. Just had a little notification saying my internet connection wasn't strong enough to broadcast. So if we do run into any issues, we'll try to get things back up for you as soon as possible. But I've seen that before, and it never really did anything too drastic. So not super concerned about it.
The stream up. If it cuts out, I'll let you know.
Yep.
But
I'm assuming it would tell me for sure. But hopefully the quality's still looking okay. I am on a wired connection, but it's kind of, we're kind of in the country here, so the wind's been kind of messing with our internet signal a little bit.
Mr. Joshua stays out yet again. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't know at this point. It's tricky. I mean, he really does risk it. This is a big battle going on.
Well, Doth is, what, 14 seconds behind. JX is another 9 seconds down the road. JX is going to get Joshua at this point, but Adri, could be losing time
He's
there. Money by California there. Those fresh hearts.
Yeah, much of an overtaking spot. So.
Here comes Camden. Now he wants to get through. So we're already gonna have DRS here. Let's see what we get. Does Camden have the grip to send it? I don't think he's close enough. No. Puff streaming out in his log cabin. I'm Bigga, not Puff. I'm the one in the country. Puff's the city slicker.
Suburb slicker.
Wow, can you imagine all this whole time Bones didn't know who was who on the voices? How confusing that would have been. I mean, I literally say my name every race, like, multiple times, so...
Mr. Joshua only has... Does he pit? Yeah, he has some interesting... I think he's stayed out too long. He's gonna have risk coming out.
He's gone to the hards, surely, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna try and extend the softs, I don't think.
I mean, Fuzz is on the mediums. He's likely gonna have to pit again. I can't imagine they make the name of the race here, but AXW gonna clear Mr. Joshua very easily. Adri also gonna clear him easily. You can see.
It looks like Fuzz pit as well. Fuzz is pit.
Yeah, so Mr. Joshua does get team money.
Here comes Durnia. Oh, nearly touched by California there. California back down the inside. California really dueling these drivers here on an old set of hards.
I'll see if Team Money Camden rather can.
Comes Durnia again. He's going around the outside of Camden.
Oh, it's gonna be so close.
He sends it full send.
He's too
huge lockup, and he's gone off onto the escape road. That is a huge lockup, and that was a full send. He wanted to clear every car in that pack and start making up some ground, and he's ended up losing a ton. So patience would have prevailed there, I feel, but he had the pace to get one.
Yeah, I think it got to a point where he was committed for the move on Camden, realized he was right beside California. But I mean, yeah.
If he just got the car rotated, he'd have got the place, because California's on old hards. He didn't really have much grip.
No.
It seemed he was just like a hair too late on the brakes and just couldn't actually get it done. Camden gets a penalty for cutting there. We had that nice camera in the curb looking up at the cars, and Camden went right over top of it, so not surprised he picked up a penalty for that one. He's all over California now. Really wants to get through here. Kind of needs to get through. He can't be getting stuck behind reserve drivers for this long. Camden sends it down the inside, and he keeps it on the road and gets it done. Nice move from Camden Luca there.
California, very respectfully, didn't fight it too hard.
Now, Ryan going to be looking to make a move and get through as well. So California's tires must be really on their...
Camden, though, is at a massive disadvantage here. California, taking a peek, but maybe had a shot at an overtake, but probably thought better. As a reserve, you see a little bit of a wobble from Camden on the exit there.
Yeah, Ryan really hanging on to California here as well. He's really pressuring him. He wants to get through there. Start chasing Camden down again.
Yeah, and we've now got Adri right on the edge of DRS on JX again, and it seems this battle is going to start up yet again.
Ryan still trying to find a way through here. So a handful of drivers don't have penalties here. It's JXW Adri, Joshua T-Money, California Ryan, and Aerostrike. All the drivers with no penalties here so far. Almost everybody else in the grid has a penalty. Here comes Ryan down the inside on California into turn 1, and he gets the place as well. Very similar to the move JX made the lap prior, or Camden, sorry, Camden.
Has retired in the pits, so another driver down. It's all on JX's shoulders to bring home a good result here for the AlphaTauri team, and he is again under massive amounts of pressure from behind.
And Mr. Joshua now applying pressure to Adri as well.
Yeah.
So this battle has sort of synced back up, even though they all got different pit windows there. And we're all back together again.
And we have, crucially, as you mentioned before, none of these drivers have any penalties yet. I mean, even Team Money behind without any penalties, so...
Yeah, let's take a look at those penalties, actually. It's a new feature they've added, so a few drivers with multiple penalties. That's Zenith on 9 seconds, GPS 6, Fuzz 6, Zavagos 6, Mr. Joshua has 3.
Picks up 3.
Doth has 6 seconds, and then Miami and Packer out front, both with 3 seconds. So a new little feature they've added there can keep track of the penalties a little bit better while we're watching the Grand Prix. We'll put that tire data back for you. It's a little more interesting. Check position change as well. Let's see how everybody's been doing through the course of the race. We're just past the halfway point now. About 12 laps to go out of 31. And Miami's made up 18 places as a reserve driver. Team Money of the full-time drivers has the most. Yeah, so we'll see that slide a bit, but he does have a nice cushion there. Team Money has 10 places gained here out of all the full-time drivers. Mr. Joshua has 7, so that's a nice chunk for Mr. Joshua as well. He's had a very good start to the Grand Prix here. See how he can do. Wrap things up. He's carrying a 3-second penalty now, so he needs to not only pass these two in front of him, but clear them as well.
Adri, yeah, and I mean...
Looks like Dernia now in California battling. Dernia's been pushed wide there and has to yield. So I don't mean actually push, but just by position. So now Dernia has slipped into the clutches of Zenith here. So California really fighting on those hard tires. Really wants to get to the softs, I'm assuming, at this point. He's been really a roadblock for these Tier 1 drivers here tonight. Sitting there causing a huge problem, blocking and defending and just driving his heart out on those hards and frustrating most of the guys trying to make their way through the field here.
We've got Ryan just hanging on to DRS. Adri, again, very close to JX. I mean, JX has been putting up a very, very solid defense.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, JX is looking at a podium here, so you can't blame him. Can't blame him for fighting tooth and nail here.
Now we do see Packer 40 seconds up the road. I mean, just no competition.
Absolute dominance. He could pit for softs and set the fastest lap anytime he feels as well.
He could, and Adri is very, very close there. Fantastic exit.
Making a move to the outside. Now he's down the inside. And locks up a bit, but gets the place, doesn't run wide.
JX! With the switch back there. Oh, side by side.
Very close stuff there, and Joshua now taking a sniff.
Adri does well to get back
Great
on and
chopper
the
cam here.
line.
You see the 3 just nose to tail here fighting. Great shot there from the race director.
Yeah,
all the junk off the screen here. Adri gets that place. JXW trying to hang on to him, and Mr. Joshua needs to get by both these guys and clear them to to gain the place. It looks like Ryan behind has come into play as well. Sorry, it's Miami, actually. He's made his pit stop finally.
Yeah.
And then behind them is T-Money.
Medium tire. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, just a nice fresh set of mediums, I guess. And he is flying. Look at the pressure he's applying to Joshua already. Joshua surely is going to let him go and use him as some sort of pawn to make his way back up. Doth picks up another penalty, so that's 9 seconds for Doth there.
And he's hanging on the edge of
Adri is only 3/10 down on Doth with penalties. Comes JXW.
Very close. Oh. And Miami does clear Mr. Joshua, so see how he does now, moving. And JX, yeah, all of a sudden, now that he's not being hampered from behind, seems to have found a lot of new life here. Sam
with a great comment there. He's like, this is really helping Doth in front. And then as soon as Doth got the penalty, never mind. Because he's now basically under threat from these three. Like, Doth is actually fighting these guys right now, and he doesn't even know. Well, I guess he knows, because he knows how many penalties he has, and he sees where Adri is. Very tight scrap here. Miami trying to make his way through these guys. The reserve driver, excellent pace here tonight. Ran very long on the hards. He's on a fresh set of mediums, trying to clear these two full-timers. They're in the middle of a very intense scrap here. And Zag is out. Could that be a safety car?
He's retired in the pits.
Oh, that's a safety car. Yeah, pit lane retirement once again. So Zag, having a miserable night here in Singapore, decides to head out onto the town early this evening and calls it a night. There goes Miami with a very nice move in a very tricky part of the track for overtaking. Gets it done, and now he's got Adri in his sights. Surely his next victim once they hit the DRS. Adri will not have DRS to defend.
Adri really should just let him through.
There's no point in fighting Miami.
You want clear track. You don't want to be...
Miami's just going to be towing these guys towards you at this point.
Adri is within 9 seconds.
Yes, so Doth in trouble now. His second place under threat from Adri, JX, and ZOR. Mr. Joshua now. Mr. Joshua, the only driver representing the league abbreviation, Zenith Online Racing. Last season's champion in Tier 1. Dropped some assists this year. He's been clawing his way back to the front, and he's been putting in some really stellar drives all season. And again, tonight, fighting for a podium here. So,
and
Mr. Joshua looking sharp.
Miami through, so they're actually coming up to a back burner. It looks like Bloxham. This group is now caught up and is lapping Bloxham down to 17th, so
we move back to this battle. Actually, Ryan now closing on Camden as well, so Ryan trying to attack Camden here. Well, we've got this three-way battle for the second and... Well, I guess it's... I don't know, it's hard to say really. It's second place on the podium, on the grid here, really, for these guys, depending on how many more penalties Doth picks up, but it's really all to play for from second through to 6th place right now. Miami won't count.
And Ryan, really hounding Camden, and we've seen these guys scrap.
Oh, someone's had a moment there. Let's Bloxham just getting out of the way.
Cars through,
Just making sure he doesn't disrupt the scrap. That's a good sportsman-like call from Bloxham, who's running last. He's nowhere near Aerostrike. Just trying to bring it home at this point. So this battle between Adri, JX, and Joshua has been basically the entirety of the race. These three have been fighting each other in various orders. Right now, Adri with the advantage, sitting out front, has that track position, but constantly under threat from JXW and Joshua.
Nothing between these guys. I mean, this is something else. Now if JX, and he's closing.
Has gotten by Durnia. JX not close enough. Joshua trying to hang on to. Ryan still pressuring Camden, but can't do anything quite yet. Let's see if they get a crack. No. Ryan with that DRS just not close enough. So we'll move back to this battle. JXW really sharp in these corners here. Just seems to really hang on to the cars, and then Down the straight, Adri seems to just have enough juice to just cover him off. Enough top
bit of a moment from Mr. Joshua, a bit of a wobble. Not losing too much time. JX kind of takes a peek there.
So blocks him.
His exit.
Blocks him is pulled over to let these guys through, and now he's all over them again. So puts himself in an odd predicament here because he probably wants to get by again, but now knows that
yeah,
as soon
he
as
was
he
getting
does,
penalties,
he's just going to get blue flags. Yeah.
So it is an unfortunate situation for him, but I mean,
yeah, he's a lap down.
He's on fresh mediums. Of course, he's going to have that pace advantage, but we've seen now Adri break away finally, crucially for him. He has got out of DRS. This is really going to put, looks like a moment for maybe one of the Red Bulls. Is that Arrow? Another moment.
Dots actually covered his gap off again.
Yeah, probably with these guys scrapping, so.
Now, Adri has a good chance at threatening that once more, but these two behind, if they keep dueling, it's going to cost them a crack at
Mr. Joshua is closing rapidly.
Comes Joshua down the inside. They touch. Did they touch?
I think it was clean. I think it was clean.
It looked from that angle that there was a bit of contact there, but good driving from both JX and Joshua. Regardless, even if there was contact, they both kept it really steady. And unfortunately, Joshua's going to have to wait his turn.
And yeah, I mean, Adri's got to be just loving this.
Ryan has cleared Camden as well at some point there. Now Camden is applying the pressure to him, so that battle could go right to the end of the Grand Prix as well. There's not much between those two either.
Oh, Mr. Joshua is dangerously close to the wall. I think he's okay, but unfortunately for him, JX is again just right on the edge of DRS, and it seems Mr. Joshua's fallen out, so maybe a bit of wind damage.
JX gonna get that DRS now, and if Joshua doesn't get it back, he could start pulling away from Mr. Joshua. Adri and JX should scamper off here. Joshua has that penalty as well, so he really needs to be in front of these guys by now.
Miami does get by Doth, so
Doth not going to waste much time. Doth carrying 9 seconds of penalties, but Adri 10.6 off at this point. Doth on very old hards. Can't even do anything to rebuild that gap. Here comes JXW now. He's closed up very quickly here to Adri.
Yeah. Maybe Adri had a bit of a moment or something, but wing looks fine. And we see the three of them still just battling.
This guy's still fighting for a podium, and this has been an epic scrap for a final podium place here. Regardless of if it's second or third on the podium, either way, they're fighting for podium here. And JXW quite vocally dislikes this track and has been fighting for a podium since the start of the race. He has to be extremely pleased with himself regardless of how this shakes out.
And Doth, 7/10 now, clear for second place. Be interesting to see if Adri can work that gap back down, as it seems he's losing pace rather than finding it at the moment.
Yeah, and he has to worry about these guys behind too, so he can't just, you know, get his head down and drive and put in laps.
All of this, I mean, Team Money is only 3 seconds behind Mr. Joshua now, so Mr. Joshua looks
Joshua's going to lose that place. Blocks him.
Here's how this is going to shake out.
I see Team Money coming into the picture now as well. He'll pick up DRS. Oh, someone's gone around. Was that Zem? It was. Yeah, Zem looks like he had lost it.
Mr. Joshua now again just has to get the exit right, and he's so close.
He is extremely close. This is as close as he's been.
This time. Yeah, he's gonna fly right past him, it seems.
Down the inside, Joshua's through. Yeah, so now he needs to build that gap as soon as he possibly can. He has to go.
He needs to clear Adri, basically.
He has to get Adri still and then build a gap here. So can Mr. Joshua take a better crack at Adri here? Has he got a better chance at completing the overtake than JXW? JXW stuck for quite some time behind Adri. Couldn't get it done. But now Mr. Joshua with the opportunity to see if he can convert this and get ahead.
We'll see. Yeah, if
Fighting
Team
for
Money can
third.
still fight his way back in here. I mean, he also has no penalties, and he seems to consistently be taking little bits of time out.
Yeah. Tenths a lap here, and that'll bring him into play right at the end of the race at this point.
Yeah, and Mr. Joshua does seem to be the quickest of these three at this stage of the race.
There goes JXW with the penalty. Crucial.
So Adri is... Oh, and I guess Mr. Joshua now breathe a bit of a sigh of relief, at least from Team Money. If Adri picks up a penalty here, Doth will be safe.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But Team Money might he's going on to the podium.
Yeah, he very well could. Team Money looking at a potential podium here if he keeps it clean. JXW, as I mentioned, that curb camera, we saw that angle. JXW came fully over the camera and then was dinged for that right away. Just like I had mentioned earlier, another driver did something quite similar.
Mr. Joshua. See now, he's very, very close.
He's absolutely flying, Mr. Joshua. Down the inside on Adri, he's got it done. Gets that place, bit of a lockup. Adri cannot do anything back, so Joshua now has about 3.5 laps to get himself a 3-second cushion here and cover off Adri.
Seems to have had a moment. He has fallen well off this group.
Crucially for Doth, the guy behind him now that is nearly 9 seconds behind is carrying a penalty. So Doth can breathe a little bit, but he really can't afford to lose any much more time because Adri is right there still.
His tires are twice as old as Mr. Joshua's.
Yes. So
I mean,
this might actually be worse. Mr. Joshua could pull both of them toward Doth, and he might lose a place to both guys at this point. But Joshua really needs to get on with it if he wants to try and close within Doth's penalty range here. We'll just check those penalties real quick now that we're getting towards the final few laps. Doth still with 9. Packer has 6. Obviously, that's not going to matter at this point. Zenith with 12. So everybody else with penalties carrying about 3. Guys back there, 6, 9. Bloxham has 11 for that collision early in the Grand Prix. And Joshua not quite closing the way he needs to. So Doth maybe getting a P2 here, and we'll see who ends up with that third and final podium position here. We've got about 2.5 laps to go. We got a yellow flag.
JX has gone off. No,
no.
He's missing his wing.
He's missing a lot of wing.
He's gotten by, and we see Mr. Joshua has cleared DRS crucially. So now he really needs to focus in.
He might be able to get to Doth here. He could.
He's going to need 2 very, very strong laps here.
He's looking pretty quick. Doth's tires must be absolutely dead. He's got 2 laps here. He's taking tenths out.
Yeah,
every time that interval really is flying here, Mr. Joshua.
Doth's tires got to be.
He's down. He's got it down to 8 seconds already in like one sector. This is Joshua could very well get within 6 seconds of Doth here and take P2. Doth still looking good for a podium, but if Adri can kind of hang on to Joshua here, he might be able to sneak in there and get that final podium place.
I think Adri's already he's so close to the
he's very close.
Time he needs. Though Adri could.
The Doth. Someone just got another penalty. It was Zenith. Okay, so we'll get penalties off here. See, those tires are quite old. Keep an eye on the bottom for any additional penalties that come through. But at this point, Adri is now on the podium. Doth is going to lose that podium place to Adri if he doesn't get on with it here on the final lap.
Onto the softs, I'd assume going for fastest lap.
Yeah.
I noticed his gap came down substantially. I was like, oh no. But no, just wants the that extra point.
Might as well get the extra point, right? Pole.
We'll see now. I mean,
race win, fastest lap, led every lap.
Yeah. Mr. Joshua needs about 1.5 seconds here. And he's got about a lap and 2/3 to do it.
So Doth must be pushing now because he's just about got Adri back out of that range. just about. Adri's just floating in and out of it. Adri is flirting with the podium position here. It is very close, that time gap. It's such a great feature they have with the penalties now because we know exactly what everyone is playing for.
Durnia very close to making a move on Camden.
Oh, we nearly got in the back of him.
Field here. Yeah. And Ryan, no penalties either,
so we are on to the final lap. Packer has started the final lap now. Obviously, you see Doth well behind there, and then Joshua and Adri even further back. So,
and Doth is putting in a fantastic sector wherever he is as he's increased that gap back up to. Joshua goes a bit wide there.
Durnia really closing on Camden, though. Very, very close. Doth losing. They're fluctuating up and down, up and down. I don't know for sure that Doth is going to get this covered or not. It's hard to say at this point. And here comes Durnia. All over him here. Doth making his way down the straight. So at this point, Doth lose the podium.
Zem in the wall.
Zem is off into the wall. He's not out, so shouldn't get a safety car here for that.
No, not on the last lap anyways.
No, Durnia does not get through, crucially.
7/10 off of,
He's off P2.
That time he needs. Adri should be in P2 range. He's definitely going to clear Mr. Joshua, barring any mistakes. I think he's close enough to clear Doth.
He definitely is at this point. He'll clear Doth, so Adri could be P2. We could see Mr. Joshua P3. Packer crosses the line for the win. You hear the fireworks going off in the background here. Joshua and Adri dueling it out. Doth
4/10
coming around now. The gear thing, the gear glitch. Still didn't fix that. There's the fireworks. Doth, I don't think he's going to get this covered. Doth might slip to P4 here.
He's holding steady at 6.4, 6.3. I mean, he's
might get it. Joshua flying here, the tenths. Can he find the 3/10 he needs in the final quarter? Joshua comes around the final turn. He's got 2/10 to make up. And he doesn't get it done. Doth has him covered. But Adri gets stopped. So Adri into P2.
Yeah.
Adri into P2. Doth takes P3 by 2/10 over Mr. Joshua. That's heartbreak for Mr. Joshua. And a stellar drive from Doth Alhoist, though. 24 laps on those hards. Hangs on to that podium place. He got a nice gap early in the Grand Prix. He converted it. He got that podium. Great drive from Doth Alhoist there. Joshua brings it home in 4th. T-Money is 5th. Ryan is 6th. Camden will take 7th. Durnia will take 8th. Jinnit will not count as well, so that's going to put GP Colin in 9th, and then Fuzz will pick up one single point there in P12. He just comes across the line now to finish that lap, and that is it for the Singapore Grand Prix. That's round 16 all wrapped up. Not super exhilarating. Really, really solid battle through that for that final podium, though, for almost the entire Grand Prix. Those guys were fighting for what it turned out to be 2nd and 3rd. So great driving from those guys. They kept the action there for us today. Kept it really interesting. Awesome to see. By far, Pack dominant performance of the year.
Yeah, without question. I mean, just on another level.
Pole position, fastest lap. I'm assuming he got the fastest lap. I didn't see, but pole position, fastest lap. Led every single lap. Wins the race. Packer absolutely dominating the championship. He's been dominant all season here in Tier 1. We really need to find a couple drivers that can knock him off his throne. Dylan has the pace to do it, but just very infrequent with his race attendance, so hasn't really been able to pose a challenge consistently. But Dylan, one of the drivers...
As a reserve, I mean, 20th to 2nd place, and he was 2nd by 17 seconds. That is quite impressive as well.
I would say if he was allowed to qualify, he very well could have won this thing. He's a very quick driver.
Yeah, he would have challenged Packer for sure. I mean, another notable performance from Team Money: 17th to 6th. Joshua, even though missed out on the podium, 13th to 5th, and yeah, all around. not the most
You know,
exciting race we've had all season, but it was enjoyable. I really liked that scrap.
I
It was
never got
very clean.
I never got the race results, eh? So just make sure I would just save that clip to make sure that we get it because it just kicked me right back to the lobby here. Just to make sure RC's got them for the standings.
I'm gonna charge a premium for that RC.
Well, I didn't know we were charging for anything. What's that about? Why am I not getting paid? I'm here every damn week broadcasting this thing.
I mean, you gotta take that up with your agent. I don't know who you've got booking your gigs.
You're my agent.
I'm getting paid a hefty sum.
Did you wait a second? Hold on a second.
I don't even show up every week.
I delegated to you to negotiate my fee for doing this, and you said that they couldn't pay me anything, and now you're telling me you're getting big bucks here. I have a feeling that you cut me out of this one, and then you take weeks off, and it's very unfortunate.
I mean, let's just say I'm being paid as though I were two commentators. What can I say?
But you're not even here every week. That's the worst part. That's not fair.
I've got a lot of money to spend now.
Well, you better spend it on keeping me because I quit. Obviously, we're going to get these guys in here for an interview. Packer wins the Grand Prix. So let's send these invites out here. Add some players. I'm assuming we can probably just go back to our normal party, but we need to add players to this group today because we have some different drivers on the podium here tonight. So we ended up with Packer obviously winning it, Doth and Adri. So maybe we get a few words in Spanish from Adri for his home country. Remember they used to do that all the time on the. They used to do that all the time way back in the day, but I guess it's because maybe the broadcaster I'm watching doesn't do it anymore. Yeah, it's odd actually. So, Adri, Doth, Packer, send those invites out. Probably nobody could hear you there actually, because I was in that menu. But there's the race-winning car, the Haas. It's a nice looking car this year actually. I quite like the color scheme. It doesn't look that great out on the track, but in the showroom looks gorgeous.
Hey,
what's going on?
First one straggling in here.
What's going on?
Not too much. We've got Packer. We'll see if Adri joins as well.
I didn't know. I'm kind of pissed off.
Packer, man, Jesus Christ, you are fast.
Hey, Singapore is my best track easily, so.
Okay. There's some relief there then.
I was roughly 4 minutes behind you in second place, so yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. Wasn't even close.
We won't get into it right yet, but yeah, that was damn impressive. I mean,
yeah.
Also, no safety cars.
That was
the only thing that could have slowed you down today was a safety car, and yeah, not a single one, not even a VSC. We had a lot of people hit the wall and lose wings and stuff, but no one. No one retired on track.
I think Zem hit the wall while I was on my fastest, or when I was going for fastest lap. So
yeah, we caught that actually. He parked it there and let you through, but I'm sure that probably cost you a few tenths.
I don't know. He was pretty good out of the way, so.
Yeah. I mean, did you get fastest lap? I kind of missed that actually.
Yes, I believe I did a 35.8.
35.8. That's going to be better than my qualifying time on Thursday.
I think I was on a 39.1 on the hards doing my race stint, so.
That's nuts. That was better actually than some T1 laps. Obviously there was rain, so.
Yeah, the rain affected things, but yeah.
So don't know if Adri's going to show up.
He's probably gone to bed. Yeah, he's probably gone.
Yeah, it's very late for him. We'll get started, and if he
took his
joins,
or he's like completely partying already. Like he's already out at the bar having shots.
Second place for Adri.
I mean, really, P2 is basically a win in this tier at this point because Packer just keeps dominating.
No, only at Singapore. Only at Singapore.
Oh, and every other track, but.
Wow,
yeah, I was saying it earlier though.
Like this,
yeah, I was saying it earlier that there's some tracks where people were within reach and you just ran a really good race and managed to get the win. But there's been a couple like this week and last week, just utter dominance, and obviously we would prefer that not continue the rest of the season. We want to see some people fighting at the front here. So hopefully those were your two best tracks, and we get a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think maybe
What?
Dylan did
What's
go
your
up because
worst track?
My
you
worst
win.
track?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't driven all the I haven't even driven Russia on the game yet, so, I just said don't like Russia.
It's not too hard, at least, though.
No, it's just
You don't
simple.
really have to worry about.
It's flat, except for that one
Yeah.
corner that you can spin at, so.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't have
true.
to worry about too many walls. But anyways,
Yeah.
enough about that. We'll get right into the stuff people want to hear. Packer, surprised you didn't fall asleep there. You probably could have made the 4-stop strategy work, but talk us through it anyways. What were you thinking? What was your preparation like? Yeah.
Preparation, it wasn't too different from normal. But Singapore is one of those tracks where if you don't put in a lot of time, you're not going to be fast. So, like, for, like, my previous league race, I put in probably almost 5 days-ish of practice, and for this one, I only had about 2 hours. So, I wasn't quite near enough to my PB that I would have wanted to be, but, yeah, qualifying was interesting. You had to get out right away and set a lap time. Good. Luckily for me, I was first out by quite a bit, and then
Yeah.
the grip. It started raining like halfway through my out lap, but the grip was still there for the most part. So, yeah, qualifying was interesting, and then the race. It was all pretty much the only place I probably could have lost it was turn 1. And I think there was an incident there into turn 1 with Bloom and Durnia. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got pretty lucky with that. I had a pretty good lead on lap 1, and then just doing consistent lap times towards the end. So
Really solid, and I mean, obviously, yeah, you had enough to pit, get the fastest lap, and pick up full haul of points. So I mean, that was, you led every lap of the race. You had pole
Grand
position.
Slam.
You had fastest lap. It was truly, truly impressive. So yeah, big congrats to you. I'm sorry I don't really have any more questions. You were just, we didn't really get you on screen all that much, but you got the fireworks, and yeah, fantastic job. We'll move to Doth. 3rd place, actually, by 2/10. It was very interesting at the end watching the delta between Mr. Joshua, yourself, and Adri. Adri came out on top, but yeah, talk us through your race. You qualified on the softs. You had that early stop. And
Yeah, so I
boring as well for you, but yeah.
no, honestly, this was the first lap I ever did here no line was after last Monday's race. So I had to kind of catch up to speed pretty quickly, and so to be honest, a quote-unquote boring race for me was really just fine. Because I could barely stay on the track, as it were, as evidenced by 6 seconds of penalties in the first 6 laps. So after that, I just kind of held on for held on for dear life. But by the end of the race, the hards, like, I wasn't in danger of putting it in the wall, but the hards had lost their oomph by the end of the race. And so I tried to, there were a couple times where I saw Adri and Mr. Joshua kind of closing to right where what the delta would be. And then I'm like, okay. And I said to Zach, like, I'm going to turn up the engine and, try to put in a lap. And nothing happened. So, I was like, okay, well, then now the plan is now don't get 12 seconds of penalties and hope that Adri and Mr. Joshua fight each other so much that they end up just outside, because so after lap 1, I'd made a mistake on lap 1, and so Packer, you'd had like 3 seconds on me at the end of lap 1, and then lap 2, I turned up the engine, and I was like, okay, maybe if I can kind of get in behind him now and hold on for 2-3 laps, I'll like give him a little pause, kind of about strategy and whatnot, and then I put together what was a pretty decent lap, and then I was still 4/10 behind what you had put in, and I was like, okay, well, that's it, because in after one more lap, the softs were only going to be, the softs were just going to blow up anyway. So I was like, I'm racing for second here, and but like, look, all credit to Packer for that, because I didn't have it. So So yeah, I just tried to kind of stay out of trouble and stay out of the wall, and I did, and I finished with one wing. So I think that's a win in and of itself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, without those penalties, I mean, of course you can always say that, but I mean, even with those
Yeah.
penalties, you still had pace. Your tires were twice the age of Mr. Joshua's, and yeah, you know, he took a few seconds out of you at the end, but for quite a while, you really were lapping pretty similarly to those guys. So, kudos to you. And yeah,
Cheers.
after that first stop, you had a nice gap. I had noticed. I think I had mentioned it on stream, and like you were saying, just kind of allowed you to find your rhythm and not worry about anyone around you. So.
I was good with it.
Yeah, no, a great result. I can't remember. Is this your second or third podium this year?
Yeah, something like that. I have.
Yeah.
I think it's my third because I know I have a win as well.
When,
So
yeah.
At Canada, yep.
yeah,
And then I'm sure there's another one in there.
yeah.
But
So
no, well done to you. And I don't know, Bigga, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm all good. I've asked enough questions the last couple of weeks.
All right. We always end with one final question. Next track, Russia, Packer. You don't like it, you said, but feel
Yeah.
confident for a good result.
I don't know. Well, hopefully, obviously. Championship battle, I think I have a big enough gap not to bottle anymore, so that's good. But yeah, Russia's just no bueno.
Well, like you said, you've got a good lead in the championship. You don't have to worry about winning the race.
Yeah.
So that should take some pressure off of you. Doth, I know you do love Russia. Or maybe not love,
Yeah.
but I know you like Russia. So another
Yeah, no,
podium, perhaps?
that's the hope. I'd be lying if I told you I weren't in time trial right now.
Right
I
now.
haven't, right this second. I
Oh,
haven't
my.
really done any laps of this track without the line either, and so I have to get up to speed. But like this was one of my best tracks on F1 2019, so I'm hoping it translates. And the race that you and I had last season, Puff, at the end there was one of the most fun races I'd ever had on this game. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that it can also it can give me that again. So
Yeah, last year was phenomenal. Definitely one of the best ones I had. And even shout out 2 years prior,
yeah.
me, you, and RC7. There was only a 3/100 difference between us in qualifying. So I know this is a good track for you. And yeah, hope to see you do well, and we'll chat again on the podium. But
Cheers.
I think that's it from me. Bigga, you want to send us
Yeah,
off?
I just I remember I was gonna say the same thing, Doth. I remember you putting in ridiculously good time trial times in Russia in the last game or two. It's always been one of your best tracks. I think even the night this was released, I saw you jump on F1 2020 on release night at midnight there, and I'm pretty sure I saw you jump straight into Russia time trial. And
That sounds right.
Start putting times up because you knew it was your best track, and you thought, oh, I can get up to the top here while everyone's sleeping. So looking forward to your race next week. I'm expecting you to be fighting
Thank
at
you.
the front again. Hopefully can secure another podium for the Scuderia. Obviously, we all drive for Ferrari in different tiers, so we're all sort of brothers in that sense. And two good performances, race win for Bigga.
Yeah.
There you go.
Second place for
Another
Doth.
podium
So
for Singapore. Yep.
the Ferrari Driver Academy in Tier 2 is looking strong. We're probably going to get that constructor's title secured. We might have to move into the Haas team next year in Tier 1 maybe. So, Packer, you're going to have to get your own tier and just drive around in circles on your own. Unless we can find some other drivers that can actually beat you. But yeah, obviously next week I'm looking forward to Russia. Just for our fans that are watching, anybody tuned in watching this on a replay, Russia has been one of the most exciting races for Zenith Online Racing from its inception. Season 1, 2, 3, all fantastic races in Russia. I'm not expecting the same thing
And both
for
tiers
season 4
as well.
Yeah, it's always
Tier
a good
2,
track.
we had that moment
Yeah,
with
that
the big accident.
yeah, that I could not stop laughing about for probably 2 laps or so. That was one of my finer moments as a commentator. I've grown up a little bit since then, as a commentator. Although I am drinking on the job every week, so I don't know really if that is an accurate statement. But regardless, Russia is always fantastic. I know it's not the greatest race in real life, but for some reason in this game, it's usually a phenomenal race for us.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to it next week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun driving it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun racing it. Obviously, we have the rest of the week here in Singapore. Tier 2 Thursday night, you can come check out me and Puff racing there for the Ferrari team, leading the constructors right now. The championship's up in the air. We've got myself, Scavney, and Alt Maverick well out front, but me and Scavney trying to do some damage there. Puff a little bit behind me as well. He could win a race or two and then suddenly be right back in the mix as well. So the championship looking very good in Tier 2. So Thursday night, tune in for Singapore there. EU Tier Sunday, we have Singapore. And then next week, Monday night, you catch us here 8 p.m. next week for the Russia Grand Prix. That'll be round 17. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Packer, been dominant all season. Congratulations again on your win. Doth, great job tonight snagging that podium. It was
Cheers,
looking a little it was looking a little dicey there at the end, but you did enough and you had that pace on those very old tires. So excellent drive from you tonight as well. Glad to have you guys in the booth here. Happy to have everyone tuned in. Good numbers tonight on the viewers. Very popular in the chat as well. Lots of guys still tuned in watching the interviews here, so thanks for sticking around for this. We'll catch you next time. I am Arbiga, Puff Digital alongside me once again. Hopefully we'll be back next week for Russia, and hopefully for the rest of the year as well, because we are a great team, not only on track but in the booth. So it's always great to have him alongside me, whether it's racing or commentary. So we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everybody.